Welcome to another video for my Year 11 class at Worksop based on the Welsh Board set text for the GCSE, the Books and Writers course. This is Tacitus' Annals. It's quite short. It's the first of our prose texts that we've been looking at, and really it focuses on the problems of censorship some writers face, attacks for what they write. So it's about freedom of expression, censorship, etc. Tacitus, a history of the Roman emperors, a historian of the Roman emperors, saw a lot, or thought he saw a lot of censorship, and this section is particularly strong against this guy, Cremutius Cordus, or what happened to him. So as always, I'm just going to focus on the translation and we'll do the analysis in class, but hopefully this will help you with your revision. So the first sentence, Cremutius Cordus accusatus est, Cremutius Cordus accusatus est, was accused. Then we have a quod with a because as a because clause, and then the two verbs laudaverat and dixerat, so pluperfects, because he had laudaverat, he had praised, and he had said. So who's he praising? He had praised Marcus Brutus, and had said, after a verb saying, we go into an accused infinitive, so had said that Gaius Cassius was the ultimum Romanorum, the last of the Romans. Where has he said this? In suis annalibus, in his Annals. Notice that Tacitus calls his own histories the Annals. So, obviously, annalibus just means a written history in the form of a year-by-year account. So, translation of the first sentence. Cremutius Cordus was accused because in his histories he had praised Marcus Brutus and said that Gaius Cassius was the last of the Romans. Hopefully you'll recognise the name Marcus Brutus and Gaius Cassius, the killers of Julius Caesar. Tacitus is writing about the Julio-Claudian emperors, and so the Julio-Claudian emperors were descended from Julius Caesar, sort of. The first emperor was Augustus, who was Caesar's adopted son. So the killers of Julius Caesar are not going to be popular under the Julio-Claudian emperors. And so a historian praising the assassins will have a difficult time. So next sentence, aggressus senatu vitam abstinentia finivit. So we start with the phrase aggressus senatu. That's a perfect active participle. Egredior comes from, so it's a deponent, so it has an active past participle. So having left, and then the ablative senatu, from the Senate, or having left from the Senate, having gone out of the Senate. He finivit, he ended his life. How did he end his life? Abstinentia, by starving himself to death. So he's committed suicide because he was accused for trying to praise Marcus Brutus and Gaius Cassius. Quite a horrible way to die, obviously, but is the way of dying, the mode of dying for an old man at this time in Roman history. Anyway, let's translate. Having left the Senate, he ended his life by starvation. Next sentence. Libros in foro cremandos esse censuerunt senatores, sed manserunt primo celati deinde editi. So, start with the subject, senatores, and the verb censuerunt, so the senators decided. And we go into an accusative infinitive phrase, libros, our accusative subject, that the books, and then essays are infinitive. But cremandos goes with the essay. Cremandos is a gerundive, and with esse, or the verb to be, a gerundive with the verb to be is the gerundive of obligation. So they decided that his books should be burnt, or ought to be burnt, or must be burnt in foro, in the forum. Sed mansuerent, but they remained, they survived. Primo, at first, and then celati and editi are participles, plural, nominative. So celati at first, hidden, deindi, editi, then published. So the senators decreed that his books should be burnt in the forum, but they survived. At first, hidden, and then published more widely. Then we move on to a slightly odd sentence, but basically saying the point that you cannot destroy knowledge, really. And it then moves on. The more something is censored, the more people want to read it. But that's the final sentence. So we begin, as always, with igiter, and then the main verb is licet, which is impersonal. So roughly, therefore, it is allowed to irridere, to mock, to laugh at ilos, those men. And then that's picked up by the qui credent in a relative clause, who believe, and then after a verb of believing, we go into an accusative infinitive construction. So who believe that, and then the accusative is memoriam, the memory, sequentis, ives in the genitive, of the following age, or even of the following age. And then the infinitive posse can, extingui is a passive infinitive, prolative infinitive brought along with the posse. So can be extinguished, and then we're left with sua potentia in the ablative, by their own power. So the whole sentence. Therefore, it is allowed, or one can, I suppose, one can laugh at those people who believe that even the memory of the following generation can be extinguished by their power. So the message is, you can try to change people's memories, you can try to wipe out knowledge, but you will fail. Why is that? We come to the message, if you like, the moral. Nam contra punitis ingenis crescit eorum autoritas, neque aliud efferent externi reges, aut qui simili saevitia, usi sunt nisi de decus sibi, atque illius gloriam. A very Tacitian phrase. So, for, on the contrary, then we've got an ablative absolute, punitis ingenis, with talent, with genius, is talents probably, having been punished. The auctoritas eorum, the authority of these men, the people being punished, the authors who are being punished, crescit, grows. Nor, or and, not, I suppose, and externi reges, foreign kings, that's the subject of efferent, as is this relative clause, qui up to usi sunt, as the subject of efferent. And foreign kings, or those who, usi sunt, used, utor takes an ablative, so used, simili saevitia, similar savagery, efferent, achieve aliud, or ne aliud. So achieve nothing or do not achieve anything, depending on how you're doing the Neque aliud. Apart from nisi, deducus sibi, and gloriam illis, so shame for themselves and glory for those men, the men who they have punished. So, for on the contrary, after or when talents have been punished, the authority of these men grows, and foreign kings or those who use similar savagery achieve nothing apart from shame for themselves and glory for the men they punish. So quite a simple little passage, tells us quite a bit about Tacitus, but fitting in with this idea of censorship and the difficulties some authors face. It fits particularly with the Suetonius, which we will do next time. Hope it helps. Thank you.